I finally get why Resident Evil is so immensely popular, and it has nothing to do with horror, gore, or jump scares. After diving into the Resident Evil files, I realized Capcom didn't just make a game. They made a mirror to the world's covert underbelly. Today, I'm going to show you the disgusting link between Umbrella Corp's origins and the real-world struggles that make this the most relevant game today. I spent 19 hours going through the lore of Raccoon City to realize that Umbrella Corp is basically the deep state, the Epstein client list, and the Illuminati. Let me show you. The true horror of Resident Evil isn't the zombies, it's the ideology of the elite. Look at Oswald Spencer. He didn't just want money, he wanted to create a superior human race. How original. He thinks he knows what's best for the human species. Sound familiar? It's the same energy we see in the media. On one side, you have a machine working with the agenda, claiming they're trying to help, while really they're just building in bias and making sure that they control the narrative. On the other hand, you have rebels or individuals who are trying to speak the truth before we're all brainwashed. This is exactly how things like Epstein or Bill Gates controversies, waste, fraud, and abuse get swept under the rug. Just like in Resident Evil. You can blow up a whole city, like Raccoon City. No one is truthfully held to blame. It's about the infrastructure of evil. Using a care center to hide a bioweapons lab is the ultimate rigged game, where the people who are supposed to protect us, like Chief Irons, are bribed. Look at the Birkins. They weren't just mad scientists. They were parents who turned a local orphanage into a supply chain for biological weapons. They sacrificed the innocent, even their own daughter, Sherry, to fuel a superior human ideology. Once again, someone who thinks they know what's right for everyone. Elites claiming to fix humanity while harvesting the vulnerable in the background. Think about the orphanage, a place meant for protection for the very weakest of us, turned into a literal harvesting plant. The people at the top think they know so much better, and that they can use the most vulnerable people as lab rats. They hid it behind medical research and helping humanity, but it's just a way to really bring their twisted ideas to real life. Chief Irons is another cog in the machine. He took Umbrella's money to line his pockets and buy art. He thought he was sitting at the cool kids table. But the truth is, when you sell your soul to the devil, you aren't his partner. You're just a loose end. This is why the survivors matter. Sherry Birkin didn't become a monster like her parents. She became a government agent dedicated to stopping this very nightmare. Like Grace Ashcroft, carrying the torch of her mother Alyssa Sherry, represents people in our world who refuse to let the sins of the father define the future, or people who wrong their parents define the future. Grace represents people in our world who refuse to let the truth die with their parents, like RFK Jr., knowing his family was killed, but still looking at the institutional rot and saying no more. Grace, Leon, Jill, and Chris aren't just characters. They are the defense against the people who think they have the power to bend reality to their ideology. The government lied, framed the innocent, and were even sued by Umbrella Corp, the corporation they were in bed with. But they lost because a few people had backbone. Resident Evil is so popular because it reminds us that even when the powers that be have viruses, money, and the media, they can't stop people with morals, courage, and indomitable wills. We aren't playing for the scares. We're playing to see the mirror that is so hard to prove in real life and to break it.